Let's take you back to one of our leading stories now. Acting Police Minister Firoz Kachalia calling on Western Cape Police to pull out all the stops to fight deadly gang violence. He met with senior police officials in the province where he said gangs are operating as organized crimes or syndicates. The Western Cape Police Oversight and Community Safety spokesperson is Nefdt, and he joins us now for more on this visit. Mr. Nefdt, good evening to you. Thank you very much for your time. The police minister saying gang violence is an evolving crime pattern. Therefore, police need to pull out all the stops in order to make sure that they devise strategies to stop it. What will that look like in practice?
Good evening, colleague, and good evening to the viewers. I would like to agree with Minister Kachalia that gang violence, especially in the Western Cape, has been much formalized over the years, and it has been evolving. And as we embark on new interventions to deal with the issues, gang groupings always work around these interventions, and they become highly motivated because of the monetary value attached to the activities. And I am of the opinion that increased intelligence capacity in the Western Cape is crucial for dismantling these gang syndicates and gang groupings. And we need to really strengthen crime intelligence to get to the root of where especially these firearms are coming from that is perpetuating the gang violence.
So increased crime intelligence is going to be one of the key elements here. How do you do that without a permanent leader at the helm? I was in conversation with the police commissioner in that province just last week, and he confirmed that Western Cape does not have a permanent crime intelligence head.
Yes, indeed, Collie. I can also share here that Minister Kachalia will be meeting with the Western Cape Premier, Mr. Alan Winde, as well as the Western Cape Minister for Police Oversight and Community Safety, Andrew Murray, later this week. And I believe one of the topics of that conversation will be calls for the permanent head of the crime intelligence unit in the Western Cape, because having that stability in the unit will much impact its operationality.
So if that is the case, would you say that crime fighting in general, and more specifically gang-related crimes, have sort of gotten worse, partly because of this leadership vacuum?
I would say it is definitely a contributing factor amongst other things. I also think that the under-resourcing of SAPs in the Western Cape is also a huge contributing factor, because you can devise all these strategies, but if you don't have the boots on the ground to actually implement them, then you will always find yourself on the back foot.
Kurt, there's something else that is quite interesting here, and that is that with many of the top police leadership issues that are being dealt with at the helm of the SAPS, the Western Cape Police Commissioner appears to be the chosen one to deal with internal disciplinary matters. And I'm saying this because today we are learning that he is the person that was involved in the disciplinary process of the crime intelligence head, Dumisani Khumalo, who is in court right now. Another senior official is that of Shadrach Sibiya. He is also in court and is one of the deputies to the National Police Commissioner. How is the Western Cape Police Commissioner able to do his job, which is to look after his backyard, which is the Western Cape, whilst at the same time he juggles internal disciplinary processes of the police. Do you think that his attention is divided here? He's able to focus still?
Yeah, I think when it comes to the internal affairs of the SAPS, it's sometimes necessary to get the most experienced or the most qualified person to deal with certain matters. And I think, especially within the realm that our provincial commissioner has a law degree, that perhaps helps him or make him a better candidate or person to deal with internal issues or trying to iron out issues.
Yeah, but does that take him away from his core duties of leading and guiding his troops on the ground in the Western Cape? Or do you not think that this is a factor at all?
No, I think he is supported by various other senior managers and with a delegation of certain duties across all the different policing sectors. I think the work continues. But I do believe that he is needed in the province to deal with issues, especially in light of escalating violence in the province.
Let's end the conversation on this important question, Kurt, and that is one which suggests that there is a higher power somewhere that is feeding this gang violence in the Western Cape. And I say this on the back of the Mitchell's Plain arms discovery, including ammunition. I think this was last week, as led by the Provincial Police Commissioner. He himself raised this very question, that these weapons are found far from areas of conflict, quiet area where you wouldn't suspect such weaponry is hidden there. Who is feeding and supplying guns to the gangs?
Kole, I am very concerned, especially in light of the large amount of firearms in circulation in the Western Cape. And as we've mentioned numerous times, that the availability of these firearms is a major contributor to the gang conflict and the ability of gangs to inflict the trauma they are inflicting on our communities. And that is why we are calling for better crime intelligence and actually the sharing of crime intelligence amongst law enforcement. And in this light also, we've been calling for the devolution of some powers to, for example, the Cape Town Metro Police to strengthen the crime intelligence capacity. So I think, yes, definitely there is something sinister when it comes to the supply of firearms in Cape Town or in the Western Cape, and therefore we need better crime intelligence to deal with it, to get to the source of those firearms.
Kurt Nefdt, thank you very much for your time this evening. Western Cape Police Oversight and Community Safety spokesperson. Thank you for your time.